Welcome back to another episode, and today, as you saw in the last video, we are finally getting some paint onto the body kit and all the panels that aren't the original body color. So, first up in the booth, yeah, I've set up the garage as a paint booth now. Yeah, so we just got the booth held down, we got all covered airline. We have a Black Ridge low volume medium pressure gun, so flows about 100 litres per minute, and my compressor flows about 175 litres per minute, so we should be good there. We should have enough pressure. I have a pressure reg on the gun. I have an inline water trap as well. Also got a fan that's going to suck out all the air out of here. I've also just taped on a air conditioning like filter on it to filter out all the bad stuff and just push out air. Compressor setup, everything else set up. Also epoxied in 2 riv nuts for the number plate on the front bumper. Everything is ready to go. Just the bumper and stuff like that, I just need to do a quick sand back, but that's okay. It's just a quick 400 sand rub and we're good to go. But first in the booth we have one of our guards. As you saw in the last video, I pumped him out like 20-25 mil, so they are a bit shit. As you can see, I tried to hammer and dolly out most of it, but I mean, it's okay. I'm probably going to ruin him again. But yeah, she's rubbed it back a little bit. All we need to do is, I've already waxed and greased it, I just need to wax and grease it again, one more time, tack rag it, but before we do that, I'm going to mix up some primer. I'm also wearing my suit, so we don't get, it's non-static, don't get paint on me, don't drag anything from outside in. But yeah, so I'm going to mix up some primer right now. Also got just a box of gloves as well. I've got a bunch of tack rags. Also a proper paint mask, because painting is not good for your lungs. And now what I got is some 2K primer surfacer, and it's a mix of four parts primer, 1 part hardener, 1 part reducer. So we got primer, we got primer surface hardener, and we have urethane thinner. And how we mix it is, if you can see the P, so 4 parts primer, 1 part hardener, and 10% thinner. Before I do that, I'll show you how to set up the gun. So basically, we have the cheapest gun I could get that was actually going to be good quality. Black Ridge. Also, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. The dude in America named Paint Society. He has, I've just been watching videos for like 2 weeks, just learning how to do it, because I want to make this good. I'm probably going to screw it up, so watch me fuck this up. But yeah, this gun should hopefully do, and I've heard good reviews about it. Obviously I'm a beginner with this. I've used a shitload of like spray cans, and I have got a really good results with paint cans. Like, you'd be surprised, but yeah. Now we're going to try our hand at proper painting to get a really good job. So basically what we have here, we also already have our inline water trap, our pressure reg. So we want to measure our pressure off the reg here and adjust it from here, not on the compressor, so we adjust it from here, so we know we have pressure right up to the gun. Down here, this blue knob here, this is our air for the gun. We want that all the way up because we're going to be adjusting the pressure of the gun right here. I'm not sure what pressure to run this gun at. I think around 25 PSI to start off with, get a baseline and see how we go. Fan control up here, wide open, narrow down. So fan is the, I'll show you in a second, because I'm going to do a test run, make sure the gun is in good condition. So I've just set the fan to all the way out just to see what it's like. And our trigger, it's 2-stage trigger, so air, paint, or fluid, whatever. So 1.3 fluid tip. I'm not sure if you know what that means, but it's just a 1.3 tip, so apparently 1.3 is good for someone who's a hobby and just doing everything, so primer, base, clear. This knob here is our fluid. To basically just set it up is screw it all the way out, but not fully all the way out. Hold the trigger all the way in, twist it in until till this stops turning and we feel like a bit of resistance on the trigger. And then they say about one turn in. I'm just going to do half a turn in as a baseline just to see how it's going to go. So yeah, compressor's already built up air, we're good. I had to sort out some air leaks, so yeah, I'm going to mix up some paint, get it in the gun, or strain it into the gun, and yeah, we'll set up the gun on one of the sides of the wall and make sure our spray pattern is good, and then we can apply it. So first coat, okay, just having a little setup problems with the gun, but when I was spraying it, it was having this like dust form from the outer of the fan, or in the what you call the I think it's the wet zone or whatever, the wet thing. But yeah, it come up a bit rough, so in some spots it came up pretty good. Right here, not too bad, but yeah, I'm just gonna quickly give it a rub back. That's okay because you let it dry, you rub it back a little bit and you can start again. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I do have a reg with a water trap on the compressor. I think I'm just gonna take that off and rely on the water trap in the hose, because the one in, I think it's messing me up. So I'm gonna try see how the gun goes with that, because the pressure reg isn't working, like you're not getting a reading anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna try some stuff and then see how I go. First I'll rub that back, and then yeah, we'll set up the gun. So we fast forward about a day. I was having so many problems with the gun, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's because I fucked up, and I told you at the start I would fuck up at some point, and I did. So yeah, I just wasn't getting enough pressure into the gun. I was only getting around probably 5 psi or something, which wasn't enough, because I could tell, because I was getting a lot of orange peel, which means you don't have enough pressure going through the gun. So it would end up very orange peely. I was getting runs, the gun kept clogging up after every single use, and the fan would just get low, and I was wondering what the hell is going on. So yeah, so basically I figured out what was wrong, and it's the simplest thing I should have checked at the start. See this knob here? That's the main reg for the compressor. It was at around 60 psi or something like that. Yeah, that's why. So 60 psi then goes through to the gun, and obviously through the line and all that, and you need, yeah, the volume. Yeah, so basically turn it up, and now the gun works. So learn from my mistake, and make sure you check your main pressure reg. For some reason I just assumed that it was okay or something like that. I don't know why, but yeah, that's literally it. I was convinced that I was this is just gonna turn out shit, but I tested it last night. The gun sprays well. I haven't sprayed paint with it yet, but it's gonna come out way better now. I was having so much trouble, and I was stumped on what was happening. It's literally the simplest thing. It's always the simplest thing that you just don't check, or you don't do, and it bites you in the ass. So always, yeah, just check everything, alright? So yeah, because I fucked up pretty much a couple panels yesterday, so I got like runs here because of it. This guard is fucked, so side skirt's not too bad, just very orange peely. So pretty much that guard, side skirts, this guard, and the boot have to be sanded back, and then I'll just do one more layer on each with the good pressure. Thankfully I didn't fuck up these, because these would have been shit to fuck up. So I ended up going through everything and sanding it all instead of just doing one at a time. Just go through it all, get all the sanding done, cleaned out the booth of any dust. So we can, first I'm going to do this one. So as I put that one in, spray it, let it flash off, dry up. We're going to take it out, take the next thing in, and just spray it. So I forgot to press record on that, but we have it. Fucking mint now, so much better. Got a nice sheen on it, a little run here, that's okay, it's just one little one, sand it back, and it's ready for base. But yeah, we have a nice sheen to it now. The pattern is so much better. It's just, you're using a lot more air out of the compressor now, so I need to go, I either bump it up a bit and go quicker, or try a technique where I just let the compressor recharge. But yeah, we've got in all the crevices now, so you won't, when you open the boot now, you won't be able to see the original 6 and 9 that was on this boot, so I'm happy. Whoop. It's alright, we're good. So yeah, now I'm just going to smash out through the rest of it and smash out the primer. I'm going to do the parts that I haven't done in primer yet, so like front bumper, rear bumper, mirrors, eyelids, roof wing, do all that, and then finish off the primer on the rest of it, because I want to make sure I get primer on everything instead of just going through primer, run out of primer, and then, you know, you're like, oh fuck. But yeah, also just put some bolts in these riv nuts I put in, just so I don't get it all the way up in the threads and fuck it. So we have everything done. So it's the next day. We have everything primed, ready to go. We've got the skirts in here, ready to put some base on. Just need a wax and grease remover. Also another tip, I shook up the paint, and then also, because it's been sitting for a while, just some baling wire and a gun. Just stir it up for about a minute or so, just to make sure the whole paint is correct. And yes, this is 040, which is the paint code for the Toyota. Yes, it's refrigerator white. But yeah, also another tip, so you don't get like paint all in here, and it just comes out real nice, because it just drips down here to this point and it just comes out nice instead of like going everywhere. You make a huge mess and waste paint. You just do a strip of paint, strip of tape here, fold it over the edges here, and you have a nice little thing. So when you've done pouring it, you can pull this off, put the cap back on, clean. Now the base doesn't use a reducer, it's just straight up 300 mils, well, it's just straight 1:1. So say if you use 100 mil of paint, you put 100 mil of thinners on top. So we're about to do 600 mil thing up, so we can do 2 coats on each of these, and then yeah, and wait about 15 minutes between each coat, and then half an hour before I can pull it out and let it dry out in the sun, and then we can do the rest. So I just finished doing the first coat on the guards. 2 coats are done on the side skirts and they've come up schmint. So they're ready for clear. No defects in them. There's one little nib somewhere. And also with nibs, there's like a little debris nib. And what you do with those is you get some 400 or 600 and you just give it a light sand there, and then that's it. Just a light little sand. Obviously some of my pieces have come up a bit shit, like this one just needed, the rear bumper just needed some 400 all over it, just to clean up some of the nibs, because there's quite a lot of nibs. Spoiler had a little run there. I just cleaned it up, the run with 180 and then 400 over it, and then I'll need to go over 400 on the top of the boot because it is a bit rough on top, so smooth that out with 400, just a quick clean down the nibs. Front bumper doesn't need much. There was one tiny little drip on the mirrors, that's okay. I'll just quickly gave it a little with some 180 then 400 over it, which is all good. I cleaned up the little drips on the guards there. Well, obviously did that, now they're painted. What else? Yeah, we're just waiting 15 minutes for those to dry up. Do the second coat. I need to mix up some more paint, do the second coat, let them dry for half an hour, and then yeah, just keep rolling on with the base. So on the front bumper we've had a little kerfuffle, just a bit too much paint mixed on the gun. Well, not mixed, but turned up on the gun. So I turned it down a bit, but rear bar is almost finished. But let this dry out in the sun so I can get rid of these drips, and then I can do the second coat and then, you know, finish it off. Now the drips, because they're kind of thick, I'm gonna have to do some 180, and then, or actually I'll do 240, then 400, and then that should be good. So we skipped forward 2 days. I wasn't able to finish all the base coat, so well, I finished the base coat on everything except for I ran out of base coat for basically the side moldings on the guards, the eyelids and the roof wing. So at a later date I'll get some color spec or that color match spray can and just do it with the spray can. It'll come out good. So it's only small stuff, so you won't see the streaks. It'll come out good. But yeah, I nearly ran out of base coat on the mirrors, but the mirrors do have base on them. Just final drop. But yeah, we've got, so basically now we're on to clear. So what I've cleared now is I've cleared side skirts, guards, front bumper. I'm about to do the rear bumper, mirrors and boot tonight, and that should be it for using the booth, besides the spray can stuff. But yeah, one thing, I left the side skirts out overnight to let them dry in the sun, like all day, just bake them in the sun. Turns out there was some moisture in the morning and it got into the soft clear coat, but it's okay because pretty much everything has a bit of runs, so we're gonna have to wet sand and buff it all out. But that's okay. The skirts will have to get wet sanded and buffed out, but yeah. Alright, so we're ready to spray the rear bar with clear coat, and I'm gonna spray the rear bar, then grab the mirrors, bring them in and spray the mirrors with clear coat, and then go out, wait 15 minutes, come back in, do the second coat, wait half an hour, bring them out, let them bake in the sun, and then do the boot, and then we're done. Sounds like a plan, and I'm probably gonna, yeah, I'll probably get distracted and fuck it up. But yeah, anyway, compressor, I've had to drain that after every coat. So drain the compressor of any water, drain that reg of any water, drain this water trap of any water. We've got the gun full of clear. That's waxed and greased and ready to go. New filter on the fan. That's ready to go. I've already pulled everything out and swept the floor. So we're ready to go. Just need to put my suit on, build up air on the compressor, and spray. I'm absolutely fucking seething at the fucking teeth right now. I was literally about to pull the rear bumper out and the mirrors out, and I was applying what I thought was wax and grease remover to the boot. Turns out it was fucking thinners, and I fucking ruined it. And I labeled the bottles, but it kept on fucking, well, it'd come off, and I fucking, oh my god. And I couldn't get to the fucking marker to mark them, because they're fucking in there. Fuck. So this isn't done yet, so I was literally this fucking close to finishing. Literally pull those out, let them dry, pull that in, clear it. Fuck. So I'm literally gonna have to fucking leave the paint booth up over the weekend and keep on spraying. And I have to fucking sand it back again. Fuck me. I'm absolutely pissed off at myself. So as you saw in the last clip, fucked up the paint. Fucked it. Ended up, so basically, New Year's Eve I had to go get new paint, but the place where I got paint from was closed, obviously. So after work, went super cheap, got some more base. So I just got a litre of base. It's acrylic, so everything I've laid down is 2-pack, or 2K as you call it. And it's okay to lay acrylic over, it's gonna stick. It's just you can't go 2K over acrylic, which is 1K. So I had to get all new acrylic clear. So the clear that all the clear that I have left is unusable. So at least the upside is now that I have more base, is I can do the parts that I wasn't able to base before because I've run out of base. So I can do the side moldings, the eyelids, and the roof wing. So we're gonna get them quickly gunned out first, and then yeah, just got some baling wire holding them on with some sticky tape on here, same as that. Also, I just had to fucking sand back pretty much almost the whole boot again. But yeah, should come up smooth now. And I have, instead of writing on the text of the bottles of thinner and wax and grease, I've literally etched it into the bottle of wax and grease. So I shouldn't fuck it up again. And I'll check every single time. And yeah, don't do that. You're literally watching this to not do the same mistakes as me. But yeah, anyway, the acrylic base coat is literally fill it up the same ratio as what the other base coat, the 2-pack base coat was like. So it's a 1-to-1. So if I do 100ml of base, 100ml of thinner. If I do 300ml of base, I do 300ml of thinner on top to get, yeah. So let's mix it up and spray it. So basically, also the reason why it's okay to do 1K over 2K is because 2K dries hard, or is a hard paint. 1K is a soft paint. So you can do 1K over 2K because you do a hard then a soft on top, but you can't do a soft then a hard on top, or else you get shrinking, and then you get all types of weird shit. So yeah, so we have basically 2K primer, just a little bit of base, 1K base and 1K clear. Now we're on to the boot. Because some of this is already like white, I'm just sort of going to blend in this white with the other white. So all the grey bits and all those bits I didn't prime for, I don't know what reason, but CBF. But anyway, yeah, anything that isn't white, just going to do a quick over and sort of blend it into the other white, and then flush it off, and then do a second coat, and I'll do a third coat just to make sure. So all the base is done. We're ready to slap some clear on. Just a little bit on the boot. I don't know if you can see, but there's like these little, yeah, there you go. You can see that little bit there. It's like some water got into it through the gun somehow, so it's going to give a little bit of 800 and then clear over it. We should be good. I've looked over it. The only spot is here, there, and that's it. So just a little. And that should be good enough. And a little bit here. And we're good. And we just make sure we wax some grease remover that, clean it off, get it ready, so I'll get the gun ready, slap some clear on. So I'll just slap down two clear coats on all the little side moldings, the eyelids and the roof wing, and also did the bolts, also based those, primed base and cleared the bolts as well for the guards so they don't show up like shit when you put the guards on. Finished off the boot, it's looking schmick. Ended up doing, I think it was 3 coats of clear all around, and then I think it was 3 coats all around. Second and third coat were heavier, and then I did a 4th coat just on all the outside because it wasn't coming out as good as 2K comes out. Acrylic comes out a bit weird, so I just sprayed it on like a real thick last coat all over the top where you're gonna see, so it will come out like, you know, it's come out, so I can still buff it back, or wet sand it back and buff it, and it'll come up really good. Because yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to get a good, you know, finish on all the clears. So, because you can sort of get like a factory sort of like style of orange peel, which they will come with. I can't get that, I'm not professional, but I did the best I could, so everything will have to be wet sanded and buffed back. But yeah, we'll let that dry. We'll do another coat of clear on the roof ring and all that, and then that's it. I just need to wet sand these back with like 800 to 1000, and I just want to do another coat or 2 of 2K clear because they look very shit, as you can see. That's not good, and I'm not sure how well it's going to come out if I wet sand it and buff it, so I just want to wet sand it back, get a nice even finish, and then do a coat or two of 2K, and then it should hopefully look the part. So I've just finished packing up. You know what that means. We've finally finished the painting part. Gonna say it was very tricky. I didn't expect it to be easy at all, especially for my first time doing or spraying out of a gun. And to be honest, the Black Ridge gun's $90 from Super Cheap. It actually handled pretty well. Yeah, I would recommend a compressor that is a bit bigger, one that flows just a bit more air, like around 200 liters per minute, and at least maybe 60-70 liter tank, just to give it that bit extra time between it cutting in and cutting off, or else mine was just running all the time, and then the heat of the compressor was producing moisture, and after every session in the booth I'd have to drain all the air traps and drain the compressor of water. But other than that, the gun and compressor held up. I was able to do all my stuff, and when you make sure you have all your stuff at the right pressures and your main one turned up that you haven't forgotten to turn up, it actually sprays really well. Still primer, because the primer that I was using a bit thicker, it struggled a little bit, needed a slightly bigger fluid tip, but it handled it. It handled the clear and the base really well. The acrylic, it handled it well. I found the acrylic laid down very different. I'd have to do more coat. I would have to do more coat to get the same coverage or the same type of finish. But other than that, I was able to get a finish on it that I wanted. Still have to go over everything, get all the runs out, do a quick wet sand and buff, but that's okay. Very excited and happy finally that I have it done and don't make the same mistakes I did. At least you can watch this and be like, alright, don't do what Jimmy did. He's a fuckhead. Oh, not fuckhead. Jimmy's an idiot. Do not do what he did. Yeah, it's always a good learning experience. I mean, I've always wanted to do it. It's good practice before I start doing the RX-7 engine bay, because that needs to be done. You want to practice on something. Yes, I want it to come out good, but something that I can make mistakes on, that's not like an engine bay where it's going to suck dicks to send it back. But we're able to get everything done. Yeah, we're able to get everything done. And my plan with this car is not to have a white. In my opinion, I don't really like white cars, but for some reason, well, the cheapest and easiest way for me to do it, besides doing a full respray, because if I do change the color, I want to do the door jambs, the engine bay, everything. It was just so much easier to do it white, and I think with the body kit and everything else, it will look good white. My plan is in hopefully 2 years or something, do full respray. For the time now, less copper tension, so one color. It's sort of one color right now, it just doesn't have all the body panels on. If you are looking to do something like this, there's a lot of content out there on YouTube on how to get yourself started. For me, I've watched a lot of people like Paint Society, a couple of other people, can't remember their names, but it's all really helpful. I've had experience with spray cans, that's all I've had. I have painted a lot of parts like this just with spray cans. You get an okay job, but not a good job. You get, yeah, with a gun, it's a lot bigger difference, and just keeping your work clean. And also, if you set up a booth, make sure you set it up a bit better than me. With the space I had, I could only really, I left a little gap over here, and a lot of dust went through all here. So I had to clean out all the shelves, clean out everything, clean out the whole garage. There's some spots that I couldn't get to, but if I had enough time I can, but I'm gonna have to really go through the whole garage again and clean off everything. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. Thank you for watching. I hope I show you what not to do and somehow get a good result, sort of. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and enjoy yourself.